People work so hard to create something, and then to have a place to share it and a platform, and people love to when strangers are at their stuff. Like it's great. I know I get hype when people I know are there, but it's super cool when there's tons of people there that you have no clue exist. Like, oh, and then you get to meet them, and I see that all the time at Wavestock. It's just people who live in the same place have no clue who each other are, and then it turns into collabs, it turns into friendships.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, you bring up an awesome point, though. Yeah, that's a great feeling to punch through that wall of audience members, of people that you don't know personally, people that aren't just invested in you because you're their friend, you're their family member, but just like brand new eyes, like getting exposed to your stuff. It's that's definitely a beautiful thing. That's a big step in any artist's like journey. Like, so that's cool. Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
You've been making films yourself. You said since
I've been a filmmaker. I mean, I've probably been making films since I was too young to remember. So doing like zombie films with like an old camcorder in my backyard. I stabbed my sister in the eye once with a butcher knife by accident, making like a Hello Kitty murder mystery thing or whatever. Sorry, Beth. Shout out to my sister Elizabeth. And my whole family is listening. So it started there, and then just filmmaking, and then messing around with my friends like my boy Osco and all these guys, Chris Romano. We're just making films growing up together, and just little short comedy films. I went to college for it. I studied it in Marymount Manhattan College. Got out of there with my boy Jason, and then it was just like off and running. Met Josh, met Joe, and then we're just making shorts. And now I don't film as much as I used to. Actually, now I'm more into the actual storytelling part of it. So I'm writing more and trying to expand my arsenal as far as the writing part of it. That's tough too. That's a whole other animal, but all part of the same thing. So.
Yeah. So what a blessing, right? And then it just reminds me of like going to schools and talking to youth and kind of breaking down the creative industries and just industries in general. Because I always tell them, I'm like, do you stay for the credits? And some of them are like, no, I just skip it. I was like, yo, check the credits, because there's sometimes hundreds, if not more.
It's a good way to find out about jobs too. Yeah. You may, as a young filmmaker coming up, you might see a bunch of things you never even knew existed. Like, that guy needs an aide to be a grip, to be the sound audio boom operating stuntman, double 2, 3. That's awesome. Yeah. But now they're even tricking the public now into staying for the credits. Because now they're doing double credits. So people are like, oh, something's going to happen at the end. So stick around this way. I mean, which, that's good. People are getting their due. People are getting to see their names up there, and, they're getting their credits. So that's nice.
Yeah, Hallie, I tell them, I say, you're looking at, Tom Cruise or Denzel or Leo, but look at all these people that also made it possible. Look at all these people are freaking scriptwriter, colorists, assistants, all these different things.
It takes a lot of people to bring those things to life. That's why at the festival we don't just have just the filmmakers. So we invite painters and photographers, and we have live music in hopes that not only just to create more of a festival atmosphere for people to come and have a good time, bring your families or whatever, and but not just to encourage attendance and make a whole festival and make a party out of it. Because that's another thing that kind of sets us aside from a lot of film festivals. Like a lot of film festivals you go, it's very proper. It's very, suit jackets and stand over there and this line here and get your ticket here and go stand there and be very quiet. But us, it's like, come, get hammered. All right, we're going to do from 1 to 2, we're doing this many films. Then this band is coming on. Now we're going to do more films. Now this DJ's coming on. So that's not, and which is good because you're going to need this creates new relationships, like you were saying before. That if you're an artist, please come to Wavestock. If you're an artist, come down. If you're a local artist, you're in the tri-state area, just please come on down to Wavestock, make some connections, meet some people, because you can all help each other out. You're down somewhere in this journey of creating content and doing things. You're going to need people that can take your picture properly, that can record your voice properly and make you sound good. People that can shoot a video for you if you're a band, or somebody that can make original music for your movie if you're a filmmaker. So it's a good place to have all those bonds happen. This year we're gonna have The Bleep Sweeps and Creeps are going to be performing live. We're going to have Wide Dark performing live. And we're going to have my band's going to be performing live. Executive Decision. So if you want to see me, if you want to see me in 3D, you come on down to the Flagship Brewery. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna tear it up. If you want to see me go, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be down there.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And then DJ Skane, DJ Snow. Shout out to United DJs. Good people. A lot of guys doing a lot of things for this neighborhood. So
that's real.
Yeah,
good.
So a lot of people
I'm excited.
So am I. I'm juiced. If you can't tell, the speed that I'm speaking at.
That's real. Maybe we could throw it back a little bit as you as a young one. Let's maybe take it back to that first movie that really hit you, where you really knew that movies were for you. Can you take us back?
The first film that really hit me where I fell in love with movies. It's tough because, you know, I feel like as a really young kid, I was just obsessed with movies. But I know that when I saw Jurassic Park, I know that was like an absolute game changer. Like, because, you know, it was like at the perfect age. It was the perfect time for that film to be released. It was like just a culmination of everything. That movie had everything. And then, you know, as a kid, when you saw it, it was almost like, you know, you weren't really seeing a movie. It really did feel like you were seeing dinosaurs for like the first time. Like, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like nobody had done what Steven Spielberg and his team were doing at that moment in time. It was perfect timing for everything. Because you didn't even know computer graphics were like not even a thing, let alone something that could look so realistic, so mind-blowingly real, holds up today. So it was just such a left hook out of nowhere to just like the mind to see the fucking T-Rex come out and attack a car. I just remember like being in the movie theater with my father and he like choked on an M&M when the Velociraptor jumped at the cage. But I just remember being obsessed with that film. That was a big one for me. That was definitely a big one. Yeah,
that was amazing.
The imagination, like just seeing how far people could push their imaginations, always inspired me as a kid. So like Jim Henson, I always thought was anything that guy did to me was confusing and simultaneously like impressive and intriguing. I was like, like Labyrinth, like little troll puppets walking around and a little caterpillar on a wall, and you're like, what am I watching, and why do I love this so much? And, you know, and I like that people that are willing to just reach out into their imagination, see how far they can like go. Yeah. And I guess that's so. When I always think about filmmaking, fall in love with it. I mean, I always think about Jurassic Park. It's the first one I always think of.
What a movie, bro! Yeah. It takes you to that world for those few hours, right? And the world that we're in now, I see it and I feel it all the time. It feels like I'm on like it's in fast forward. Like everything's just going so fast. You get to one thing, you're rushing to the next thing. Got to pick this up. Got to go here. Got to grab this. Right. Yeah. Then this, you start over again. You're waking up early to make sure to do it early, all over again. And I'm just seeing this constant race of time. At least in my life, I don't know how it is for all the listeners and you. But a lot of the time, I feel like I'm finding myself saying, "Damn, I wish I had more time." What about you?
Well, yeah, 100%. I definitely feel like that also happens. Just like the older you get, the more things that your life accumulates, the more things that you just keep spreading yourself a little thinner. Your life picks up branches. Like, now whether you have kids, job, a second job, whose parents are sick, whose friend are you helping out, and the older you get, the more people lean on you, and the thinner you could get spread, and it's easy to lose sight of your passions, or not just lose sight of them, but realize that okay, I need to make a compromise right now, and this part's got to take a back seat so that this can take a front seat, so that I can help this person or help myself get to this position. And, and everything plays a role in that. Whether it's finances, mental health is a big thing these days. Yeah. And the phone, man, we put the phone in our pocket, and that phone spreads us thin. Yeah, you don't even need to be doing anything, but all of a sudden you're on Facebook, then you're checking your bank account, then this guy's texting you, you got a phone call. Yeah. And every time that happens, it's just another branch of your psyche getting strung out, and you before you even know, like people used to watch movies to unwind. You would unwind. You watch a movie, you'd unwind. But now you can watch a movie and you don't disconnect. You don't disconnect from the world because you've got that phone. I don't want to put all that blame and pressure on the phone, but I would say a big part of that feeling like time is slipping away is because it is slipping away. Yeah. We're all just staring into our palms and we barely consume each other anymore. People have a conversation, they pull their phone out as they're talking to a person, they're also looking at their phone. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. So I think like a lot of people looking into their hand and then they look up and then they realize, oh shit, 3 years have passed.
Yeah, that's why I love movies, because you could literally, it like almost locks you in. Depending if if you're home, you kind of have access to your phone, but if you're at the theater,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
very rare. I know me, it's almost forbidden.
Do you still go to the movie theaters?
I actually went to see Killers of the Flower Moon the other day.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I went on my own.
I can't wait to see
it.
that. That's
I've been wanting
3.5 hours. That is a commitment.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm with it. I'm gonna bring a bedpan with me and a duffel bag full of snacks and a tent.
It literally, you travel to that world.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a genius.
It was crazy, bro. I was uncomfortable. I was sad. I was angry. It was a lot of like raw emotions that it made me feel, because there's just so much stuff happening, bro.
Right. That's next on the list.
And it really and for me, I went alone. I just felt myself just being like, damn.
This is one of them feel good movies.
I
can tell.
There's lessons to be learned in many ways.
Where did you go see it? Are you an Alamo guy?
I went to Regal.
Okay.
South Shore.
Oh, right. Regal still exists. Look at that.
It was the first time I went to that Regal too. It was nice. The chairs were nice. Yeah.
I'm an Atrium guy from Staten Island. Atrium guy, Alamo guy.
Alamo's nice too.
It's nice to eat in your seats. It's nice for people if you drink beer and stuff. It's nice to you go to the dine-ins that bring you beer. But I gotta say this: the little lights under these fucking tables, or these little lights so that you can eat, they're maddening. I don't know if they're bothering anybody else, but it used to be dark down. Now it's just
the dark.
It's just little flashlights all over the place, so you can read a fucking menu. So I get it. Like, we're here for a movie, or if you want to go to dinner and then go to the movies.
That's how I am.
You gotta cram your dinner and your movie into the same 2-hour window. You're that busy. I'm gonna eat a chicken leg while I'm trying to pay attention to Martin Scorsese's elaborate plot on the nuances of Native American struggle and just rip it away on a cheeseburger.
I ate before I went, and then ate when I came back.
Classy.
But yeah, it really takes you there for a few hours, and maybe we could even talk about, people always talk about top 5 MCs, top 5 rappers. Can you go into your top 5 films?
No. Top 5 films.
No particular order.
I would have a hard enough time doing top 5 MCs. Top 5 films. I mean, Jurassic Park will be up there. And I'm going to sound biased because there's probably going to be 2 Steven Spielbergs up there.
That's all good.
Jaws is probably got to be up there.
Jaws is great.
I mean, Jaws changed the game. Jaws created the blockbuster, Without Jaws, there's no T-shirts and posters. I mean, somebody would have got there eventually. But Jaws was the pioneer,
Yeah.
Jaws created that suspense without showing you the thing you were supposed to be afraid of. And then it gave you enough of the thing you were supposed to be afraid of. I forget the number of screen time that the actual shark has, but it's insanely low. It's like 7 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's just Steven Spielberg's a genius.
Oh yeah.
Martin Scorsese, man. I guess so. That's 2. I gotta say Ghostbusters probably in my top 5. Honestly, it's just so. For when it came out, just the concept of basically being firefighters that fight ghosts, and the cast and the comedy. And the effects still hold up. They hold up. They did their job. They were just, it looked believable enough for what you thought a ghost looked like. And I like that. I still picture it in my mind as a one-off. I don't know, because it just, the Ghostbusters one was its own thing. And it was, listen, Ghostbusters 2 happened, unfortunately. And the other Ghostbusters, they happened. This new one was
You kind of had to, because it was just, why not, right? Why not make
cash in.
hundreds of millions of dollars?
I don't blame them. What was that? That's 3, right? Oh, man.
Who directed Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters is Ivan Reitman, right? I think I'm right. I think it's Ivan Reitman. Somebody listening right now is probably this idiot. No, but I think it is Ivan Reitman. I know that Dan Aykroyd was one of the main writers.
Ivan Reitman, you're right.
Boom. And then I gotta throw more Scorsese up there, but I don't know which one I would do. I mean, Goodfellas seems like a cop out.
Nah.
I mean, it's brilliant. It's so
it's
good.
Up there for me.
It should be. It's a wonderful film. I mean, but it's tough. Then you got movies like Tropic Thunder. I love Tropic Thunder. But no, I think I'd probably have to go.
Yeah, it hit home to you, right? There's all these classics that across the board, but bro, I may even throw Home Alone in there for me, and it's just it hit me at the right time. It gives me nostalgia. It takes me to this part of my life. Is it
It made you feel like you could defend yourself.
Yeah,
as a kid,
it gave you this,
watching that. You're like, oh, I could survive a robbery.
Empowered you.
Yeah, it empowered you.
As a young kid.
yeah, absolutely. Like I could kick the shit out of Joe Pesci. Give me a paint. I'll make it to Christmas. You give me.
I go for like what leaves the mark on me. And there's so many factors. It could be the timing. It could be what I'm going through. It could be what I needed at the time. But yeah, Home Alone for me is...
I probably got to put...
That's probably like my Ghostbusters. Because
Okay.
Ghostbusters never really hit me when I was a kid. It kind of just slid by me.
Yeah.
I slid by it.
Okay.
I was more Ninja Turtles. So yeah, that was like my life as a young kid. And I just never really gave Ghostbusters the right time as a kid.
I guess I'd have to say Pulp Fiction would be up there.
Yeah, that's
my
beautiful.
fourth one. The story structure, he was, that really kind of like showed you who he was. And he did. He changed the game. After Quentin Tarantino, everybody wanted to be Quentin Tarantino. Everybody wanted dialogue like Quentin Tarantino, and nobody could do it. Like nobody could do it.
Yeah.
He made these movies where, like, I mean, Kevin Smith was able to make a movie that was all dialogue, but like, but he was able to do it once. Like this guy was able to do it over and over and over again. And then after he did it, every filmmaker, every writer was like, oh, people want to hear what I have to say for 48 minutes without anything happening. And they were wrong. Like they were absolutely wrong. It just doesn't work. There's something about the way that he can like keep the stakes going in a scene while they're really almost talking about nothing, but they're also talking about something that's completely evolving the plot. Like we're moving forward and it doesn't feel like it because they're talking about cheeseburgers, but like you really are like, that's a great film. That's up there. My fifth one, for lack of sitting here trying to think about it too long, I may have to say, I'll say The Big Lebowski. Yeah, Coen Brothers. That's a borderline perfect film. I mean, and they're just a team that shows you that you don't have to compromise. You could be comedy, and then your next film could be straight up thriller. No Country for Old Men. Like, so that's a great film.
That's a solid
Yeah,
five.
that's a solid five. It's a solid five.
So Goodfellas was on the list. You included it?
I put it sixth.
Sick. Gotcha. I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's real. So the first movie you saw in theaters was Jurassic Park?
First movie I saw in theaters, I really don't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember either.
I know I've seen a bunch of Disney movies in theaters. I know I've seen a bunch of movies that you never even thought that you would see in theaters. I see everything in theaters. Like I've seen everything. I know on the same day I saw Liar Liar and Anaconda. Like back when you were still sneaking into films.
Oh yeah.
I know I snuck into South Park. I used to love sneaking into movies. Yeah, I had a friend. Shout out to Steve. His family, for a short window of time, owned the pizzeria right next to the movie theater out there. Was the Travis movie theater. He owned that. His family was there, so we would go
by
there.
The deli?
Yeah, we go there. We smoke.
By the bowling alley
in the Fun Bubble parking lot. Go make a pizza. Then we go to the knock on the back door. Security guard would let us in. We just go into the. That was a solid year. That was a great year. Whatever year that was a good year.
Yeah, it's probably like high school.
Yeah, it was sometime around there. I think it was the same year. Whatever year that was, I think it was the same year that the Hulk movie came out. That first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm pretty sure it was the same year. That's the only movie that I really remember seeing. Because you remember elevator shotties?
Of course.
So we do an elevator shotty, blew smoke in my friend's face. We picked him up. We let him go. He fell. He hit his face on the pavement. He was just covered in blood. And we were like, he'll be all right. So we wake him up. We're like, all right, come on, we're going to the movie. We go to the movie. We get there, and he's just covered in blood as we're like getting our tickets and stuff. Shit. And I just remember the lady like staring at him. And then after that, we went and got pizza. So I know that's how I know it's the same year. Yeah, that's how I know.
So what about a film that came out recently? It's like fairly new. Theaters or Netflix or.
It's not completely new, but just one of the first ones that come to mind is 3 Billboards. It was really, really good. Yeah, 3 Billboards outside of something, but I think they just changed the name to make it easier. I think it used to be called like 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, or something like that. And I think eventually they may have changed the name to 3 Billboards just to condense it. But,
3 Billboards? All right, I gotta check that. Oh, outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, I gotta check this.
Yeah,
that's real, man. So what's your what's your movie setup now? Like, do you watch movies at home? Do you have
giant movie theater guy? Big movie
going
theater
to the
guy,
theater.
Big movie theater guy. Yeah, big movie theater guy. And then you have your small like clusters of people that. So I have my little trustworthy clique of friends that'll be like, you got to see it. If they tell me I have to see something, I know I have to see it. Okay? Right. If the Chucks tell me I got to see a movie, my boy Oscar tells me I got to see a movie, I'm like, all right, I know I got to see that movie. So you got
Do you go with people? You go on your own? What's kind of your approach?
I mean, I feel like I usually go with Maria.
Yeah.
You know, my lovely and supportive girlfriend at home right now listening to this.
Shout out to Maria.
I mean, the last time I went to a movie alone, my God, to be honest with you, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know I snuck into the Lego movie one day when I was supposed to be working a gig in the city. I was supposed to be doing this production gig. And I was like, oh man, I'm really not doing nothing. I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of here. So I just stuck into this movie theater and went to the Lego movie. I was like, oh, I'll go see the Lego movie. And I went in there and I was the only person in this movie theater. Wow. So just sitting there in the middle of the day watching the Lego movie. And I was just imagining what the staff there was thinking about me. Like, were they like, oh, maybe this guy's not all there, or maybe this guy's like a predator, like lying in wait, and he just like came to the wrong showing, and he's like, oh man, well I guess I'll just watch the movie now because there's no kids here.
Gotcha.
But really, I just want them to know security, you know, of that Regal Theater. I was just there on a break. You know, I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the police say.
Well, you know, firemen, you kind of have like a VIP to almost any room. Like, you want to like go to the Jay-Z show, you could kind of just get front row. You guys,
well, I mean, in uniform. If I showed up in uniform, sure.
Yeah. You can't just like flash your ID.
No, I wouldn't risk that.
And street clothes.
No.
But when you're in uniform,
I mean, if they need us to be in that venue, we're gonna go into that venue just in case we have to respond to something medically. You know. Yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough to because we're right by the MCU stadium, so sometimes we have to go to EMS runs or something like that at the stadium. Yeah. So we had to respond to an emergency there during the Wu-Tang show, whatever that was, nice. Like 3 or 4 years ago. And so that was good timing. Cool. That was a good timing for that person to have a real working. I'd never been so happy for someone's misfortune. I was like, oh, good. I'm glad this person got hurt. We get to watch this.
No, but you're there to, keep the peace, keep things safe. And that's cool that you're literally you're working and you get to see what's happening in the world and be there to support if anyone needs you. So that's blessed, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a theater set up in the crib?
I got my big TV. I got a little sound bar and everything. Just the basic that you would imagine.
What size TV?
Nothing super fancy. I'm not even sure. I think it's might be like a 60 or 70 something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
What sound?
I don't remember. Maybe Sony bar or something.
All right.
As somebody who does productions and is a filmmaker, I probably should know the things that I buy. But I'm like, what? It was basically like, oh, what's an open box? Oh, is that open? Will you give that to me for $100? All right, then I'll take that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how that happened.
No, you use electronics. If you go on eBay, bro, you could get phones literally $320 that were $700 when it came out. Slightly used headphones, you get like $15 that were open box. So
if you just go into like a Planet Fitness and you just pick the locks on all the,
I never even thought about it.
Get a new headphones, go shop and come out, pink leggings. Yeah, man.
Gotcha. Yeah. So no projectors? Do you have like the projector outside?
No. I will one day. Okay. One day when I'm a homeowner. when I've upgraded my...
Gotcha. No doubt.
Yeah. New York City.
Yeah. It's tricky.
It's tricky out here. It's tricky. Oh, you know what? Let me throw a left. Throw a left in there really quick. Give a shout out to the vendors that we're going to have. Once again, November 12th, Sunday, November 12th, 1 p.m. No cover charge at the Flagship Brewery.
Wavestock.
Flagship Brewery. We're going to have Moody Vibe, right? Candles.
Shout out to Aminta.
My boy Delando Wilson's going to be down there doing some of his art. My boy Michael Filotico. Mark Rizzo. An artist and friend of Dave's. Yeah,
shout out Wagner High School, graduating class last year. I met him in one of my programs, and him and I, bro, this guy, he was always just drawing. He was drawing the most, detailed stuff. Yeah. So I thought it was interesting because I didn't want to throw off the vendor shout-outs, but just how I met him was interesting because I'm like, oh, he don't care about this class. He's focused on his own thing. Yeah. And he was so I asked everyone for their shirt designs. So he basically took on images, he found a banana. Okay. And then he put #banana underneath. Okay. And he's like, I want to make it a shirt.
Sick.
I said, all right, let's see how it goes. I have a lot of people asking me for this banana shirt.
For just #banana.
With a banana on it.
Dope.
And he's like, I have people that want to buy it and I want to sell it. Yeah. I was like, all right, let's do it.
I want a banana shirt.
So I'm like, all right, let's see how it goes. So I send him the paperwork, like the contract. He's like, all right, got you. He sends it back right away. We have a meeting on the phone. Bro, this guy sells tons of banana shirts.
Just banana shirts.
To people all over the freaking country.
I can't wait to meet
like
this guy.
Florida. I have people buying like 4X's in Florida shirts. Yeah, so shout out to Mark Rizzo. But who else we have on
Simplicity is the key sometimes, man. Yeah. We also got Hey Dollface, Stereotype.
Okay.
Dave's going to be there.
Let's go.
Linda Rossi. And I got Need and Peel. They do massages and facials. Nice. Yeah, shout out to Tina and Rosalba. All right. And I already gave my shout out to United DJs, Crossfire Flagship, Staten Island Arts, Josh, Joe, Sightwave. I named all the bands, the day, the date. I did my job. Now what are we going to get into?
It's going to be great. I'm really excited. It's pretty much become like a Shaolin tradition.
Yeah.
I've been grateful to be part of almost all of them. Except for the one during COVID. I think I was like literally locked in the home.
But that's nice to hear because that's literally just the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is to we wanted to make something that like Staten Island could count on it being every year, and that, you know, it's our way of giving back to the art community, and you know, we really just want to grow this team of just people, helping people, man. And it's dope. Every year it's dope. I always meet new talents, and you know, there's always some type of new beer there that people are enjoying, and that whole area down there is nice. It's on the come up still, and I lived down there for a while, down in St. George.
Nice.
But it's, you know, every year it's something different, but it's still the same.
Yeah,
and it's nice, and we evolve. Like there was a bunch of years where we had the movie theater. We physically like built a projection screen movie theater setup. So now the new setup that we're doing is we build this giant LED like TV right in the tap room, and we just built it there like this giant TV screen that people could walk in front of, and it wouldn't. It's just awesome. The people at Crossfire are insanely talented, and Pete is a big help every year. Like these guys are just great. Yeah,
that's amazing.
A lot of people making the dream a reality. You know,
it's so important. I'm excited to see the setup. So if you want to see the setup, I highly recommend going to Wavestock, November 12th. No fee, no cover fee, right? To get it. Flagship on ice.
That's it.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's it. Just come on down, man. Just come on down. In November, I mean, what's better than craft beers in November? I remember craft beers in November.
Yeah, it's the right way to start off the holiday season, man.
Absolutely.
So with these festivals, it's not a contest, right?
We do award. We award one film Best Picture of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we give them a plaque. You know,
nice.
we give them free entrance to the next year's competition, you know, to the festival portion of it, and you know, we put them on our social media and everything, and we're willing to just do whatever they want us to do. Like, oh, would you like us to put your video on this website or that website? And we just, we just try to big them up as much as we can after that.
Great.
So every year we select one winner.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Last year was actually the winner was the guys at Seashells Productions. They're another local team, Staten Island filmmaking team. Bunch of talented guys. They're funny. They're always doing stuff. Work a lot. It seems like they work a lot with Fuzz on the Lens. And they're just out there doing that thing. So shout out to them. Yeah, man.
That's real, man. Yeah, the importance of community, man. It just, you know, it makes sense why we're friends. It means so much to both of us, you know.
Yeah, you've definitely always been just a supporter of the community, always bigging people up, always giving people platforms like this. Like, you know,
I appreciate that,
Respect it, man. Respect it.
As a creative, you remember how it felt when you started. Mm-hmm. And I think... like, I always kind of go back to how it started, why it started, where it started, right? But I remember how I felt when I started. And most of the time I felt alone. I felt unsupported. Even though I don't think I was doing the best things. So, right, like most of the time when you're starting, you're kind of an amateur. You're not putting out the best product that you have. You're raw.
Yeah.
So... I didn't expect many fans at that age, but you kind of want them more than ever. Yeah. And then when you don't get them, or you don't see them flourish right away, you're just like, oh, man. So I just always remember that. And to me, man, it was like, yo, I never want people to feel that way. I never want, especially on a creative journey where you're kind of counted out before you even start most of the time. Like, oh, you're really going to do this? you're not going to take this path. You're going to take this path. So like for me, it's like if I just have a couple of positive interactions with people along the way in their journey, if it's in the beginning, middle, or like maybe they're thinking it's the end, but it really isn't. I'm just happy to be part of it for a blink, you know.
That positive reinforcement, that's big. But I feel like as a young artist, I feel like that positive reinforcement it's good. It's very good. It's good, but it's good in the right amount of doses. Yeah. Because you want to struggle.
Yep.
You want people to count you out.
Because
that's where you get all your best stuff, you know. Art is like an expression of trauma. You know, you need to have something to. I mean, we're going to tell a story about how you just had everything go your way. Like, nobody wants to, man, I was, born into money. Everything really worked out. Like, nobody wants to hear that story.
Exactly.
So it's good to start from nothing, you know, or to start from being discouraged. And then it makes you almost want to prove it to yourself. And then it makes you commit, because then you got to commit. Then you face a fork in the road. You're like, all right, well, am I going to commit to this thing? Am I going to really give this, and and that's big.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who's committed to something, because there was that day one where you started where there was uncertainty, I'm sure, or, questioning your path, or it's like, oh, is this really what I'm going to do? And then you made that decision, and then you stuck with it. And I've seen just so many people flourish after facing all those like make or break times where like they could have been times that made you quit, but when you get past those, the next challenge, not going to say it's easier, but you become a little stronger each time,
Absolutely.
So just shout out to everyone, whether it's like essential workers, artists, both parents.
And shout out to the bullies too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the bullies. Shout out to being an obstacle. Shout out to those real pieces of shit that get no love. We get it.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Absolutely.
So that happened to you early on when you were on your path? Kind of dealing with people.
I mean, yeah, I feel like everybody's story has a bit of, something where you get lost, or you get found, or you get lost again, or you get tough love, and people want you to right your ship, so they only offer you certain type of lifelines. But I would never say I was lucky enough to be, I had a home, I had parents, and I've had a job since I was 13 years old. Like I always worked hard, so I was lucky enough to have that. Like most people would think, oh, it sucked, but no, I was lucky. I wanted to work, I wanted money, I wanted to make my own route. I had my own trials and tribulations, but I mean, I feel like everybody has those.
Yeah.
You just got to pick and choose which ones you're going to let change you. Not every tribulation has to change you. Certain ones, you just plow right through them, and then certain ones make you recognize who you want to be going forward, or who you can be going forward. Whether it's maybe you're out there struggling with substance abuse, maybe you don't like the person you are when you drink, or maybe you go through like a traumatic event, like some type of like injury or something. There's a lot of things that cause you to look inside, and I think that's that's where that art comes from. I think that if you're a natural creative, I feel like that's when you make your most stuff. That's when you feel like, all right, well, if I'm stuck in this place right now, having to look at myself because I've put myself in this situation, or the world has put me in this situation where I'm caused to be stagnant and have to literally look into only myself. That's where my inspiration has to come. I think that's where it comes out. I quit drinking 5 years ago. When I did that, I was like, shit, man. I was just cranking stuff out. Wow. Because now you're not going to the bars all the time. Now you're not So when I did that, that turned into a lot of my free time. It was like, oh, all right. Well, normally I would go down the block, or I was like, all right. So what the fuck am I?
Oh wow.
Nothing against partying, man. I partied for a long time. Yeah, partied for a long time. I was a DJ, DJ out there. Just but sometimes you party till the wheels fall off, and you're like, okay. Wheels fell off. Let me chill out for a bit.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
And then I just kept chilling out, And now it's been a while.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years since what?
I haven't had a drink.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, nothing. Oh yeah, this is some type of hop seltzer.
Oh yeah.
It's just tasty.
Oh wow.
What the hell is this thing called? Hop Lark Hop Tea.
Oh, root beer?
Well, it's supposed to taste like a root beer, but it's like a hoppy root beer. I don't know.
Oh, so that's alcohol free. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that soon I'll pick up crack. That'll be next. When they legalize crack, I'm coming off. I'm like, all right, you know what? Crack's back. All right, it's okay. I can do that. I'm in.
You got
Nah, don't do crack, kids.
You got a vision.
If there's a kid listening to this, I mean, I don't know. Go to bed.
Man. It's just great to see your journey, man, and just to see you still pursuing the music, pursuing the films, but being a platform for others, man. It's just beautiful to see. Just seeing,
man.
Being the change, it just makes a difference.
Thank you, bro. I really do. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I'll tell you, like, it's guys like you that inspire me, and it's all these artists that inspire me. Like when we throw the festival, I get inspired watching all these people with their hard work, and I'm like, damn, like these guys are really doing it. They did it this way, and that's inspirational. Going to, like, you go to a museum and you see all these beautiful works of art, all these people that work so hard, and that inspires you. Like, it doesn't just feed your brain, but it fires you up, like, because you're like, all right, well, I could try something like this, or I can mess with something like that. It makes you step out of your comfort zone. And when you see other people climb a mountain, you're like, oh, maybe I can climb that mountain. Like, you stand on that mountain nobody ever climbed before, but now you see somebody like, oh shit, you know what? Maybe I can climb that mountain.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't go that route, but I could, like, kind of go around.
Yeah.
It's so I feel like that's another good thing to take from these festivals, because, like, I've been to festivals that aren't my own, where I bring my own stuff, and it's great because you see other people's work and you're like, shit, oh, I could have tried it that way, or maybe I could have done something like this, and oh, all right. So that's another good thing too about these types of things, because if you're an artist, you really should be getting your work out there. Yeah. Open yourself up to criticism. Put yourself out there. Put yourself out there to get smashed to pieces. Like, what I'm saying, there's that criticism is good because it's just gonna make you stronger. It's just gonna make you sure. It's just gonna make you a better artist, as long as it's constructive. I mean, even non-constructive criticism can give you thicker skin. Everything can improve you. As a fireman, in the firehouse kitchen, there are fewer, more brutal places than the second we started talking. I got these guys blowing my phone up, texting me, sending me pictures of my nipples, asking me if it's cold in there, and but you need, you need that. Like, you need guys like that to keep you, you need a world like that to keep you level.
I like what you said about putting yourself out there. There's so many ways to do it. There's really no one way to do it, right? But I think Wavestock is an amazing way to do it. If you're deep in the game, or if you're just looking in from the outside and you want to just meet people or just rub shoulders with people out there like this.
Yeah, even if you got nothing that you want to put on display, just come on down. Yeah. Meet some people, man. Or even if you're not an artist, just come on down. It's a good time. It's going to be music. Who doesn't love live music? Especially when I'm singing it.